Sounds simple, but so many people miss this and make life so much more difficult for themselves than it needs to be.
So, Lewis, number 3 on the list of things you wish you knew before you started dropshipping.
Yeah, the third would be that supplier quality is really crucial to your success. I mean, the success of your business is very, very closely tied to the quality of your suppliers. We see it time and time again with the members in our community that people are going to ultimately experience the products that you sell. I think sometimes we forget that as online business owners and e-commerce. We feel like the moment that the sale comes in, our job is done as an e-commerce owner. And it's like at that point, that's it. That's the last we'll ever hear. But remember, that product then gets dispatched and delivered to someone's house, and they are then the person looking at it and experiencing it and using it. And so Becky and I, a few months back, we bought a new bed and we needed a new mattress. And so we were looking around, and there obviously there's so many mattress options to choose from out there. But we decided on a fairly premium brand that you've probably seen advertised on like the London Underground called Emma mattresses. Now they're really well marketed, right? Now these aren't cheap mattresses. I'd say they're fairly premium level mattresses, especially for like a super king size one. It's about £600, I think. But for us, the stage that we're at in our lives at the moment, with 2 young kids right now, both under 3, a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old, sleep is possibly the most important thing that we could be investing right now back into our own mental health and sanity. So especially running 2 businesses, and like trying to do that is tough. Trying to do that with no sleep or with very poor quality sleep is near on impossible. So whilst I could have probably gone to Amazon, gone to Wayfair or something, picked up a really cheap Super King mattress on eBay for 150 quid, something like that, I would have never had the same level of incredible quality sleep that I now get. So I'm really happy that I made that purchase. But the question is, would I be talking about a cheap brand like I am now about the Emma Mattress Company on our podcast in front of hundreds of thousands of listeners? Probably not, right? All because of the quality of the product and the quality of the supplier. A great quality product means customers will be extremely happy with their purchase when they receive it, and likely they'll tell others, like I am to you right now. For your exclusive discount on Emma Mattresses, use code NAPLIKE. I'm only joking. There's no discount code. There's no partner with Emma Mattresses. But Emma Mattresses, if you are listening, this is your chance to step up to the plate and sponsor this podcast.
If there is someone listening, I certainly would sign up after that great testimonial you've given for them. But yeah, let's see. We'll keep the inbox open for that one. But it's a great point. I think as I went on more and more with running e-commerce businesses, I realized how closely tied that supplier quality is to the business quality, not just from the popularity of the product standpoint that we've touched on, but also from the customer experience. Our suppliers will do a bit of a heavy lift with some of the sales that we send through because they'll organize a delivery. They'll make sure the product quality is good as well. So we need them to be on board with us. They need to look after our customers. So if you're working with high quality suppliers, you'll have no issues. Great products, great quality, good delivery time, and they'll look after you if there's any issues as well. If you've got poor quality suppliers, that will reflect on your business. So it is important to get signed up with high quality, reputable suppliers. So Lewis, now on to the 4th thing that you wish you knew before you started.
Yeah, well, the 4th thing would be that sales come from real people, real human beings. Your customers are real human beings who need a good experience. So we talked about the quality of the product, but what about the buying experience? I remember at the beginning of my journey back in 2017, when I first started with dropshipping, I didn't make the connection that the numbers I was seeing on the screen were real people in front of their laptops or phones or computers logging onto my first store. And the people that I saw as these analytic numbers popping up on the screen, I just saw as visitors. I thought they were just metrics, just statistics, right? But then one customer called us up. And I say us, at the time, it was just me, right? There was no VA, there was no customer support team. It was just me. So I answered the phone and I was a little nervous and I was like, hello, how can I help? And I realized that actually this customer was really friendly. They weren't expecting me to be some specialist in the niche that I was in. It was fine. I just acted confidently, and just if I didn't have the answer, I think I would have just said, I'll see if I can figure out the answer for you. Let me get back to you. At which point I would have called the supplier to get the answer, or maybe, emailed the supplier and got back to them via email the next day or something. What I didn't realize was that customer wasn't looking for the best price. They weren't bargain hunting. There are some customers out there who will do that. They're just looking for price. They don't care about anything else. But some customers actually are buying based on the best experience that they can get. And that customer went on to purchase within minutes afterwards. I sent them the link, and then we created them a draft order, sent it to them, and then they just purchased it. And I realized, wow, we're actually not the cheapest retailer out there for that brand, because there are some other companies that are just trying to undercut and earn less profit, but to try and steal volume. And it was just interesting because I realized, okay, so it's not all about price. A big part of the value that we can add to customers, to suppliers, is the experience and the hand-holding and the guiding customers through the purchasing decision. That's what a lot of customers are looking for. And let me tell you from experience, those customers are probably the ones you'd want to deal with anyway, because they're the ones that are reasonable. They're the ones that are friendly, that will pick up the phone, that will have a chat, that are, not going to go and just leave bad reviews if there's an issue with like it being delayed by a day. They're understanding people generally. So they're the kind of people we want to deal with anyway. And so, enhancing the customer experience through great customer support on your store can really, really increase your sales.
It does. And that all comes from realizing that they're real people on the other end of the laptop, and they're not just numbers. But it is easy to start to think of people as numbers, and sales and conversion value, and what does each customer mean to you and mean to your business. But if you realize they're normal people, that enhances the way you speak to them on your website, enhances the customer service you provide to them, also makes you care more about the product quality, the suppliers you work with. So that is a great lesson that I completely agree with as well. So on to the next point, Lewis.
Yeah, the next point then, number 5, is that it takes the same effort to sell high value items as it does to sell low value items. Sounds simple, but so many people miss this and make life so much more difficult for themselves than it needs to be. We had one of our members of the masterclass, Suraj, recently on the podcast with us in a couple of episodes ago, and he shared the amazing story of his first sale. He goes out and runs these Spartan type races where it's like an outdoor Tough Mudder style assault course where you have to like crawl under barbed wire and you get electrocuted, and it's like one of these really intense races, right? And he said just as he was getting ready to go, because that's what he loves to do on a Saturday morning, I'll leave that one to you, Suraj, he put his phone in his glove box. And he said just as he checked it, the phone was in his glove box in his car, and he had a look and he realized that he just made his first high ticket sale. And he couldn't believe it because it was I presume the profit on it was the equivalent of what he would have probably earned in his job at that time in a day, right? And he was just leaving to go for a run. And so that was an amazing realization for him, that it took him the same amount of time and effort and input to make that first sale and that amount of profit as it would have done for him to sell a 15 quid product and make £2 or £3 profit after all of the costs. Same effort, same time, same customer buying, but at the same cha-ching notification, hugely different levels of profit. And obviously because it's high ticket that Suraj has gone with, in his first couple of months, he just told us on the last episode that he'd made £12,000 in sales, which is about £3,500 in profit in his first couple of months since joining the DSU Masterclass. So yeah, he couldn't believe that it took the same amount of effort to make his first few high ticket sales as it did for him to make low ticket sales, which he was doing prior to that. So same uploading of product, same ad, same click from a customer. It's just that you make a whole day's salary instead of just a few pounds. So I guess the question is, you ask yourself, if you look down now, check your phone and have a look at it, and you say you saw one notification just pop up from the top of the phone as they do, would you rather that notification be for an item that was £16? Or would you rather it be for one that was £1,600? Because you don't have to do anything differently. You get to make that decision. Either way, all you're doing is looking down at your phone and then forwarding an email on to a supplier.
Yeah, same. And I learned that lesson as well by doing both low ticket and high ticket. It's the exact same effort to sell a high ticket product as it is to sell a low ticket product. And it's almost intimidating. I think when people first start, you think, they almost limit themselves and they say, look, I've never done this before. I'll sell £30 products because surely they're easier to sell. And they're almost intimidated by seeing a £1,500 product and thinking, I can't sell that in my first business. But I wish I'd known this before I'd started as well, because I went down that route of selling cheap products. And the numbers are not on your side. You have to be really shrewd with the investment that you're making to sell products at a low price. Whereas when you get onto the high ticket items, the numbers are very much on your side. And it's the same effort to sell a £1,500 product as it is a £15 product. So I completely agree with that point as well, Lewis.